Good morning, Tom's River. Good morning, world. I am Phil Brilliant, and this is Simply Brilliant for Thursday, May 8th. Happy birthday to my cousin Joyce Rosenberg. Hopefully, she has a good birthday. She is 39 again. It's an ongoing joke because her father, who is my uncle, my mom's twin brother, never got older than 39 his entire life. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it because if I told his age, I'd be in a lot of problems. So what I want to do over the next probably 4 times that I am on, unless something big happens in Tom's River, which the way Tom's River is these days in the national news, I got calls from California yesterday from some friends who basically said, "What the heck is going on in Tom's River? The mayor's going after a church, going to take it eminent domain so he can build Wally World." It makes no sense, but I'm going to put that aside unless we need to address it. There'll be things that'll be happening between now and May 28th next council meeting, and we'll touch upon that as we come. But what I want to do is I want to hit the ward seats for Tom's River. And since we don't have debates, and I did not get the opportunity yet, I hope to get the opportunity tonight to rewatch the debate from last night, the gubernatorial Republican debate. I was out last night at a Girl Scouts Women of Distinction dinner, which was fantastic. Some amazing women and one man, because you have to be man enough to be a Girl Scout. I am man enough to be a Girl Scout back, it's got to be about 2017 now. I was honored. So definitely, great night last night, honoring some great women. But we're going to talk about some men because there are no women running for any of the ward seats here in Tom's River. And I'm going to start from the bottom up. I'm going to go from Ward 4. Predominantly covers the downtown Tom's River area. It covers a little over to Whitesville Road into that section as you head towards North Dover. You really need to look at the ward maps. I'm not quite sure who came up with them. They're a little crazy, but it is what it is, and that's what we have to live with. And hopefully you do know what ward you live in. But Ward 4, so we have 3 candidates in Ward 4. We have the incumbent, David Ciccozzi, who I will tell you, we've become friends over the past two plus years, 3 years maybe. A really great guy. And what I continue to say about him is he is the heart of the Tom's River Council. He has the biggest heart. And every time you hear him speak, he may not be the best speaker in the world. He may not always give you what you want on issues. But if you don't feel that what's happening in Tom's River pains him every day, then you have no feeling, because it does. Okay. David, Tom's River resident, Republican. He is a widower, raised 3 children, 2 girls, 1 boy. And, we had a conversation one day along with my girlfriend, Debbie. I didn't realize how long he was a widower. So he has really raised his kids into fine young man and 2 young women. Really give him kudos and a lot. It is not an easy thing to do when you are a single parent. He has done a phenomenal job and, kept the business going. He is self-employed. He's mostly a property manager, does have properties in downtown Tom's River. I'm very proud he has properties in downtown Tom's River. And he was the only councilman that abstained from the votes when they voted on the downtown Tom's River repeal, because he owned property there. Justin Lamb should have abstained because he works in downtown Tom's River. His father owns property in downtown Tom's River, and that is a conflict in accordance with New Jersey's law of ethics. He's a graduate of St. Joe's University in Philadelphia with a degree in business administration and marketing. He was a member of the planning board before he became a councilman. He believes we got to do something about property taxes. We got to balance our budget and reduce our budget. He believes in preserving open space, protect our town by hiring police officers, first responders, and do something about our school system's budget, which really goes down to Trenton. So not much we can do here locally. The way it is right now, Trenton is really putting the, kibosh on anything we could do with the school budget here because of the S2, and hopefully we get a governor who will abolish that and come up with a fair and equal budget situation of money coming out of Trenton for our school system. But he is a successful businessman, and he really has done a great job as a councilman speaking for the people, against the animal shelter, against the cuts on the police force, standing up to the corrupt nature of Daniel Roderick. And I commend him for that. Second up is the GOP for Toms River candidate, which is the George Gilmore Club that Daniel Roderick, it's in the Asbury Park Press today, a great article if you get a chance to read it. And basically, Daniel Roderick was part of the GOP for Toms River. They let him back in after he left in 2023. He left in 2021. He goes back and forth because Daniel Roderick, if he doesn't get his way, picks up all his puppets and leaves the room. So he was not happy that his candidate, and we'll talk about him in a second, was not given the spot for the GOP of Toms River. They went with Anthony Ricotta, and he, from my understanding, is no relation to Jim Ricotta, who's the assistant superintendent, and no relation to some other Ricottas, but he is, I believe, a Seaside Ricotta. But he lives here in Toms River. He's in Ward 4. Nice young gentleman. Had the opportunity to meet with him a couple times. Excuse me, I take that back. Spoke to him on the phone with him a couple times. I've talked to his wife a few times. Very nice. They're very close ties to Robert Race, who is the commissioner for the county. I believe Anthony's wife, Kaylin, works for Robert Race. And also, I thought it was very interesting, and we had a great conversation that her grandfather was Pastor Healy at Grace and Peace over on Old Freehill Road. Really knew him well, had a great relationship because the relationship between Congregation B'nai Israel and Grace and Peace was phenomenal when it came to support of Israel. Rabbi Hammerman at the time and Pastor Healy were really behind a lot of the interfaith movements here in Toms River over the past 30 years. He passed away several years ago. He was a big loss for the community. I don't really know a lot about Anthony Ricotta. Basically, his claim to fame on his bio is he's a homeowner in Toms River. He's a community advocate, and he's a family man. I don't believe he has any children. He volunteers in Big Brothers Big Sisters and has volunteered at the Church of Grace and Peace. And he's looking to really be that fresh start on the council as a young adult. I know he is very influential and spends a lot of time with the Ocean County Republicans, young Republicans. He is the only candidate who fits that bill. We'll put it that way. But a nice guy as goes. The other candidate is the Daniel Roderick candidate. If you've seen the signs already, it's the Roderick team. Starts off with Justin Lamb, goes to Bill Byrne, goes to Harry Aber, and then goes to Anthony Matarazzo, who is the candidate in Ward 4. By the way, you will hear nothing from them. You will see nothing from them. You will have no comments from them because Daniel Roderick controls his candidates and always has and always will. This is another one of Daniel Roderick's Essex County friends that he has brought down here into Toms River, though I will say on complete transparency, the Matarazzos have been here a lot longer than the Rodericks. Now, interestingly enough, Anthony Matarazzo about 90 days ago was hired by the Toms River MUA to do buildings and grounds work. As a commissioner of the Toms River MUA, I found out after the fact. It went through the personnel committee, which at that time was run by Joe Bellotta from the GOP from Toms River, as well as Sam Ellenbogen. Not quite sure what club he might be in, but he is the candidate for commissioner in Ocean County. There's a lot of incestual life going on there. But he is now working for the Toms River MUA, so he's collecting an MUA check. He is collecting benefits from the MUA, while his wife, Marisa Matarazzo, if you remember her from last year, she was Daniel Roderick's candidate for the Board of Education, and she won. She is Daniel Roderick's now code enforcement person inside code enforcement and zoning in the township of Toms River. She, along with Bookie, I apologize, Bookie Klausner, I probably butchered his last name, but I think we've all heard of him. We know who he is. He is a leader, a advocate, and a lobbyist for the Toms River Jewish Community Council, the TRJCC, which is the VOD, which is council in Toms River. And he is also in Toms River Town Hall as a confidant to the mayor and that team. And together, Matarazzo and Bookie really make sure that whatever is happening with zoning and code enforcement is in compliance with Daniel Roderick's wishes. And if we drive around Toms River and we see the dilapidated homes, we see the garbage piling up in front, we see the over occupancy in homes without COs, we see the construction in North Dover, that is all coming out of the Matarazzo team lead in Toms River. What do we know about Anthony Matarazzo? That's really about it. We don't know much more. We know based upon a mailer that's going out is he's a competitive shooter. We know he was a business owner, and somebody had told me that he once owned a cigar shop or some kind of shop down next to Hemingway's in Seaside, and he belongs to the Elks. That's about all we know. And from what I've heard at the MUA, he can mow a good lawn. These are the three candidates for Ward 4. You have incumbent David Ciccozzi. You have Anthony Ricotta, who is representing the GOP of Toms River. And you have Anthony Matarazzo, who is wanting to continue on to Roderick's rules of chaos. Ward 4 has to make that decision. What do we also have in Ward 4? We have the Christ Episcopal Church, which is under attack by Daniel Roderick right now by eminent domain. So if I was telling you who to vote, but I'm not telling you who to vote because that would be wrong of me, I would tell you to vote for the person who wants to make sure that eminent domain is not used on an active church from 1862 in Toms River, and that would be David Ciccozzi. I would also tell you that you need to do whatever you can do to stay away from Anthony Matarazzo because he is only going to continue Roderick's rules of chaos, which is going to, at the end, cost us tax money, it's costing us legal fees, and it's costing the fabric of Toms River to be destroyed. So that is all I have for you today. It is Thursday. It is May 8th. It is going to be a glorious day. I am hoping to end my day, and I will end my day at a fundraiser for Scouting America. It is from the Boy Scouts Jersey Council, and we'll be at Finnegan's raising money for the Boy Scouts. Again, I'm Phil Brilliant, Simply Brilliant, and I hope you have a great day.